I'm here with junior Abbie Mikelson. Abbie, the team won a match last week against Alaska Fairbanks. What about where you think the team is at right now?
We're really working our way up. We kind of hit a little bit of a rock bottom, nothing too terrible though, but we're working our way back up. And I think we're getting a lot closer as a team and learning how to work together better. And it's going really great. I'm really happy with where we're going, and I'm sure everyone else is, so it'll be fun.
And against Alaska Fairbanks and against Rocky, the defense really stepped up, got some good gets, was able to get the ball to the setter, and then put the hitters in good positions. Talk a little bit about where your offense is right now.
Our offense is doing pretty well. I'd say we're working a lot with Kendall, trying to just talk more with her and get better sets and better reps and stuff. The defense doing really well like that helps us out a lot, and Kendall really knows what to do with the ball when she gets good balls like that. So we're working on just seeing the court really well and hitting where we need to and things like that.
And let's talk about your role. Stepped up in the last couple of matches. Talk about what your strategy has been in order to help the team.
In order to help the team, I've just been really positive, as most positive as I can. I like to bring a lot of positivity to the court and a lot of fun, so I try to do that the best that I can. And then I also try to, put down any ball that's given to me and block as much as I can.
So let's talk about this week. Out on the road, 2 tough matches against Simon Fraser and Western Washington. Talk about what your goals are.
I think my personal goals would be hitting a lot better, and I think as a team we definitely want to win, and we definitely want to play with a high intensity throughout the whole match and not drop back down and come back up at all.
So let's talk about that for a minute. The confidence kind of comes in and comes out. You had some outstanding rallies last week and then also allowed the other team to get back in. What is it going to take this week to be able to close the team out?
First of all, I know that our team can do it, and I know that we'll be able to do it this weekend. I think we just have to play with a high level of intensity and cheer really well to keep each other high up. And I think the louder we talk and the more we communicate, the better we can close the team out. If it gets quiet out on the court, then the other team takes advantage of that.
Great. Thanks, Abbie.
Thank you.
I'm here with junior Stormy Siemion. Stormy, you guys played 3 matches last week, the back half of a 5-match homestand. Talk a little bit about the team's effort last week.
We definitely pushed hard. It was definitely a long week. We just knew we were going to have to come in and push through and stay mentally tough and know that just to implement the stuff we've been working on hard in practice in the games, and I think that's helped us a lot. I know we haven't won a lot of games, but it's definitely helped us improve in our game, and I think that's huge.
Last week you played Rocky Mountain College on Tuesday. Your defense had 80 digs against the team, which is the season high. Talk a little bit about how your defense has stepped up for you in the last couple of matches.
That's something we've definitely worked hard in practice, because if we have our defense down, we can get the ball up to Kendall and we can run our offense a little bit more and put the ball down. And I think that's helped us a ton, just keeping the ball in play and giving ourselves second chances at making a play.
So switching to the offensive effort, you play Western Washington and Simon Fraser on the road this week. Lost to both teams, but had some really good rallies when they were here. Talk a little bit about what your offense is going to need to do, what kind of adjustments you're going to need to make.
As an outside hitter and just as a hitter altogether, we've been hitting to the block a lot, and I think just changing up our shots and knowing what specific part of the core we should hit to, and not only swinging away, but using our tips and roll shots, and just keeping the defense on the other side of the court on their toes and not having them not know what's coming at them each time.
So let's talk a little bit about the mental game right now. Your last 6 of 8 matches are going to be on the road to end your season. Talk about what that does for your team and kind of how you prepare for something like that.
We know what's ahead. We've done it before, and I think just staying mentally tough is going to help a lot. Staying up on our schoolwork will be huge, that we don't have to worry about that as much, and then we can focus when we're in practice and games all on that instead of thinking about everything else about it too much, and just try not to think about how down we can get, but how tough we can be and push through.
And talk about the focus, being at practice or being on the road, kind of what changes in your mentality when you step onto the court?
Just putting everything behind us and just living for that play and that moment, and wanting to win each point, and not putting anything past us, because it doesn't matter how many points we lost beforehand. We want to get that point right ahead and push for more points ahead of us.
Thanks, Stormy.
Thank you.
I'm here with junior Ashlynn Ward. Ashlynn, you guys played 5 matches in the last 2 weeks at home. Talk a little bit about last week and how you think it went.
I think last week went really well. We, we try to play to the best of our abilities, and sometimes we do, and sometimes we're a little off. But I think it's important to stay together as one, and even in the locker room after the matches, we try to take positives from each match and try to focus on that and take that into the next match that we play. And it's really important for us to keep that positivity and unit.
And sometimes it seems like the team can rotate. If the offensive outsides are having a little off, the middles can take up a little of the slack. Talk a little bit about how your team works together.
It's like a rope. If one of us is doing bad, we know that another one of our teammates will help us out, and we honestly try to do our job and nothing less. So we just try to help each other out and work as one.
So this week out on the road against Simon Fraser and Western Washington, have played them earlier in the season, lost to both teams, but obviously you're improved from those. Talk a little bit about what you've been working on this week in order to get ready.
We've just been working on our mentality and our skill in practice. We are looking forward to being more crisp and, working harder against our opponents as we take them on this second time.
And talk a little bit about the team's goals for this week. What would you like to see as an outcome?
I think our overall goal is just to know that we worked just as hard as them, if not harder. And, no matter what the outcome is, we